Worthy Professor Mahinder Singh Ji, Director General RDIS, faculty members and very talented students of the institute. It's really honor and a privilege for me to be here after roughly after 5 years, and I love to interact with the students of Guru Gobind Singh in the university, and especially the institute affiliated with GGSIP University. Director General has very rightly initiated the discussion that a mess has been created and a strong leadership is the requirement. If you look at the things, the one message which we can get is, in any area, whether it is health, whether it is education, civil service or anywhere, political leadership, strong, decisive leadership is the need of the hour. And this MBA program, whether it is BBA or MBA, we intend to have leadership qualities inculcated amongst the student. Simply you are not supposed to look after routine things, but also provide a leadership so that things could be speedily done and we get the appropriate, good, better results required for the well-being of the society. On leadership, again, I am also not a political person, but I start with the statement oftenly quoted for Mr. Modi, that what we need is the minimum government and maximum governance. Minimum government and maximum governance. That is the need of the hour. The things have changed, and more specifically with the integration of the world economy, what we need is the appropriate utilization of the resources. In economics, the essence is how to best utilize the resources as per the requirement of the society. And what are the requirement of the society? That is judged by the political master. They are in touch with the public, so that their opinion, feelings, that is translated through democratic process and then converted through bureaucrats by the politician into policy action. So the crux of the problem is that we have a limited resources. Air, which used to be in abundance, we used to say free air, but the quality of the air, that is deteriorating. Water, a free resource used to be, but again the quality of the water has deteriorated. Land shrinking. Less and less land is now available for agriculture, more and more required for industrialization and other growing service sector of the economy. So you take any resource, this is by nature very scarce, and therefore there arises the need for the allocation of the scarce resources, whether capital, in economics we say capital, whether human beings, whether capital, labor, land or any other resources. So there is a need for their optimum utilization which benefit the society. That is the problem. And we have institutions. We have institutions to do that. And the prevalent is two basic institutions. One, state controlled mechanism, where what you need is to be decided by some government machinery, which used to be the system in USSR, China and other socialist country. Government decide what to produce, where to produce, how to produce, what technology, at which place, how much, you need bread, you need butter, you need defense. Unit is to be established in Delhi or in Gurgaon or in Faridabad or in Muradabad or in Calcutta, where resources are limited. So choice has to be made. So state control, this is state controlled economies or resource allocation through state control system. That is one way. The another is market oriented decision making, market oriented economies, which UK, USA and other Western, European model and other countries developed, most of the developed countries, they adopted this model. That is, you leave the things to the market. Market will decide what to be produced. We need black and white television or color television. We need a simple phone or this a smartphone. We need a diesel version of the car or a petrol version of the car or CNG or any other. So what type of goods to be produced, where to be produced, why auto factories normally in Gurgaon, Chennai, Pune, these are the hubs. Why factories or firms want to establish auto ancillary industries in these areas? Because of certain reason, we will discuss. So in a market oriented system, market based decision making, things are left to the market. Market decide what to produce, where to produce, how to produce, which technology is to be used, etc., etc. So these are two mechanisms, institutions available for resource allocation, and both have their merits and demerits. Nowhere you will find totally state controlled mechanism, nowhere you will find totally market oriented economy, nowhere, fully. Even in America we say market oriented economy, UK market oriented economy, but still there is lot of government control, direction, guidance exists even in those economies. So better way would be, these are two extremes. If we have more features of market oriented economy, then we will normally say this economy is market oriented. If we have more features of state control mechanism or state control system, then we will say state control economy. But in isolation you will not find anywhere either fully market oriented or fully state controlled system. You have seen in China, lot of market based decisions are taken. USSR, Russia now, market based decision. Nowhere you will not find fully state controlled system. So therefore, as the topic suggests, what is so unique in market based system, after this globalization process, most of the economies, they now are market oriented economies. Decisions are made based on market forces of demand, supply. Profit is the basic instinct. And this system is guided by self-interest. And my self-interest is to maximize my profit as a businessman, as a individual, as a consumer. Your interest is to maximize your satisfaction. You are here in this institute because you have to maximize the satisfaction by spending some money and getting the degree and other skills, knowledge. So as a consumer, we are interested in maximizing our self-interest, which is satisfaction, utility in economics we say. As a producer, we are interested in maximizing my profit. Now both interact, and in this way dynamic process of this interaction price mechanism works, that provides the signal where to put the limited resources. Land is to be utilized for agriculture or for industry or for any other purpose, that is to be decided by the market forces. If I find that land is not giving me adequate yield, then better to sell it off, and then another person will buy and will start some other unit, maybe some factory or anything else. So the problem is clear. Problem is how to best utilize the given resources. That can be done by two ways, either by the market forces or by this state controlled system. Practically in isolation, no system in isolation can work. In between lies the real situation. Like we say in India, we have a mixed economy. Government intervention is there in so many areas like education, health, environment and so many other areas, as well as the market based system exists in certain area in India. So mixed economy we used to say. Economists by and large, they are of the opinion that market based economies or market based decisions, they are the better ones. Market based decisions, they are better decisions because they reflect the reality in the market. They reflect the real value of the resource. They reflect the real value of the resource. And therefore, market based decisions, they should be adopted wherever possible. Wherever possible. The government role is to strengthen market based decision making by providing many things which we will discuss here. So there is a consensus in economists that market based decisions, they from efficiency point of view, from optimal utilizations point of view, they are the better one. But it is not that market based decisions, they reflect the values of the society, or they totally take care of the requirement of the society. There exists certain problem, and that is a market failure. Whenever there is a problem, there is a market failure. Whenever market fails to give appropriate outcome, whenever market fails to give appropriate outcome, that means this is a situation which requires some correction, and that justifies the need for government intervention. That justifies the need for government intervention. Pollution is there. If you leave all the things to the private individual, they will pollute the whole environment. They will destroy the whole aquatic life. There is a need for some intervention by government. This is one area. Similarly, whether it is education or health, there is a need for some intervention to lay down the standards. To lay down the standards so that the outcome we get, that reflects the requirement of the society, that reflects the welfare of the society, that is as per the you can say the needs and requirement, and reflects the values of the society. So therefore whenever there is a market fails to give the appropriate or desired outcome, there is a need for government intervention, and government intervention means there is an intervention in way of some policy action, that is market interventions. So in this way, market efficiency is one. Market efficiency basically means when it satisfies both producer and consumer, and the outcome is optimum. Resource allocation is better. There is no other way we can use the resources better way. That situation is a market efficiency, or market, we will say markets are efficient. The resources are the resources are put on those uses where their value is maximum. I am using my talent where my value is maximum. Similarly, the land is used in production of those commodity where output is maximum. Similarly, all other resources which we have. This is a market efficiency. Market means, again, it is an institution. It is a institution where buying and selling takes place. Market provide a role. Market has a role. It provide information. It is a meeting point for buyer and seller. The more information it provides, the best would be the transaction, exchange process which takes place. I mean, just consider, suppose I have to search a flat in Delhi. I am from Kurukshetra. I join IP University. Nobody knows me. I am in search of a accommodation, flat in Rohini or any other. Then what is the mechanism with me? What is the mechanism with me? I will contact my colleagues and they will say that go to Rohini, this is the nearest area where you can have a flat. Now what is the option? So vast area. I have to go search, contact each and every house owner and then ask for that I am so and so and I need accommodation and what is the rent and other so many conditions. It will consume so many days, wasteful energy, involve huge cost. Alternative, there is a property dealers and property market is there. I can contact one or two, they will give me the range of flats, the persons, and they will immediately have interaction with the property owner and the transaction would be settled. This is the role of the market. It provides meeting point, buyer and seller. It saves money, cost, time, and very efficient process. So this is how markets create the process of development. Efficiency I have explained to you when the resources are put in those uses where their value is maximum. Market failure I explained to you, government intervention I explained to you, certain situation where market fails to provide the optimum result, that situation is a market. So basically through this presentation or my interaction with you, we will understand the how resource allocation takes place, what are the conditions for efficient market, what needs to be done to make the market more efficient, and the related concepts. Market failure and this we have explained, I have explained to you. This basically is the requirement for efficient market. Market would be efficient if accurate information are available. I am searching for a flat. If some cheating is there is some collusion between the property leaders and whosoever come and then they somehow provide wrong information to me and make me realize that rental value of a single room flat is 20,000. Some wrong information, but actually it is less than that. So that means I am cheated. So to what extent consumers are given the information? To what extent the information is available in the public domain, both to the producer as well as to the consumer. So accurate information, that is the essence of the market efficiency. If information gap is there, then result would be suboptimal. How we decide the decision? We say managers are supposed to make decision. What are decision? What is decision making? What is decision making? You have decided to take admission in RDIS. This is your decision. This is your decision. How you arrived at this decision? You might have searched so many institutions. You decided to do MBA or BBA and then started searching the different institute. Information is available. Then you decided, if I get, this is my first priority, this is my second priority, third, fourth, and so forth. Ultimately, your choice of a particular alternative, the choice of a particular alternative is a decision. The choice of a particular alternative is a decision. But if you don't have the alternatives known to you, then how you will make the choice? If you don't have the alternatives available to you, then how you will make the choice? I want to buy a car, a fuel efficient, having good space, durability, good service. How I will know? First I have to get the information. So when information is available to me, then only my decision would be optimum if I select a particular car. You are getting my point? So getting information, this is the most important thing for market efficiency. Property rights. This private system or private this market decision making, that basically respect the private ownership, that respect the concept of private ownership. The basic instinct is that I work harder. Why? Because I will be rewarded by the market. Market reward for hard work. If I work hard, I purchase some property, acquire some property. Next day, that property is confiscated or taken away by, grabbed by someone else, gundas or whatsoever you call it. I am no more a owner of a particular flat. I purchased through hard work. 20 साल मैंने अपना नौकरी में लगाए और बाद में वो किसी ने मेरी प्रॉपर्टी उसने छीन ली. So do you think that I have an incentive to work? Or anyone, businessman, who are putting lot of labor, lot of money, earning money, creating property, wealth, they will have any incentive if that wealth is not protected? बताएं. This is an interactive session, please. This is not one way discussion. If you have any query, then you please stop me. The private system will not work. It will only work if the fruits of labor that is insured. That shows, that means proper enforcement agencies are there and order is good. If you ask any businessman, the first thing they would require is the good law and order conditions. Tata shifted their operations from West Bengal, and how adversely it affected them. So many industries shifted to Gujarat. Why? They created a better environment. They created a better environment. So protection of property rights is must. If I spent 4 weeks in writing a good research paper, I create some innovation, that innovation need to be protected. I must get the reward for that innovation. That's the need for intellectual property rights, whether in writing or processes or new product, innovation, whatever, different intellectual property rights is a vast topic. The essence is that efforts, the property created, that needs to be protected if the private system has to work or if the market system has to work, otherwise it will destroy the markets. It will destroy the market system. This is the second condition. The third is contract obligations. I take a loan from a bank based on certain agreement. Now that agreement has to be enforced. If there is no guarantee of enforcement of that agreement and one party fulfills the obligation, the other party withdraw, there must be some mechanism whereby this obligation undertaken by both the parties, that can be enforced. If that is not there, then business will not grow. Whatever parties agrees, that agreement must be enforceable by law. So that is a contract obligation. Those contractual obligations have to be respected and enforced. The next is no external cost or benefit. I will explain this topic a little in detail, but just sufficient to say here that these are called the spillover effects. Spillover effect. These are called the third party effects. Private market decision making, that is based on private cost and private benefit. That is based on private cost and private benefit. Cost benefit analysis, what is the cost to me and what is the benefit to me. As an individual, you might have gone through the marginal analysis in economics. Marginal analysis in economics. Consumer equilibrium, where what? Marginal utility of X divided by price of X is equal to marginal utility of Y divided by price is equal to marginal utility of money. That is the principle. I buy a commodity and pay the price which is equivalent to the utility I derive. Producer produces, incurs cost, marginal cost is equal to marginal revenue. This is the rule. I will produce more till marginal cost becomes equal to marginal revenue. If marginal revenue is more than cost, I will go on producing. I will go on buying till price is less than the utility I am driving. That is the rule. Where all this is equivalent, that is the point of efficiency. That is the point of efficiency. So market efficiency basically means producer equilibrium, consumer equilibrium, marginal cost is equal to marginal revenue, marginal utility is equal to price. Is it clear? So that is a marginal rule. That is based on my private cost, my utility satisfaction to me, private cost and private benefit analysis. But if you look at the things, if I am a factory owner producing chemicals, then most of the time